Ice Blast for single target damage now is top tier. Like, without a doubt, top tier, because you get to do your battle skill over and over and over. You get a buff on your hero, and it allows you just to repeat your battle skill. A lot of times, it's 5 stacks. A lot of times with 5, you just do battle skill until you do your ultimate, and then you just do battle skill all the way till you do your ultimate again. So, of course, it's going to be insane damage. My favorite one is this epic. Bledin is just so damn good. We'll jump into this battle, then we'll look at my spreadsheet where I did kind of a tier list for what I would rank all these guys and how strong they are. But here's Bledin at the very bottom. We've got Nord in here, which is a rare on the far right. He's up at the top. He's a melee rare. So he's got defense runes on, both of them. And he's got a defensive, the Scarab artifact to keep him alive. Unfortunately, he's melee because as a rare goes, he's really good because he gives ice crystals to his allies. Those are what we use to do our battle skill over and over. You can see that he's got one on him right now, Nord, the rare at the top. At the very bottom, we've got Bledin, which is the epic. He is so good. He's got 4 stacks on him right now, 5 stacks now. So once he initiates his battle skill, he's just going to do it one after another. Just keep doing that battle skill. And you can see his damage is pretty good. But really, his damage is insane because what I did is I tested all their damage, and then I went and brought in Usha to test out Usha's damage, and then Total Nan with the same gear. And since we know where Total Nan kind of places in the damage hierarchy, and we know where Usha is, we can get an awesome idea of how strong these guys are. And these guys are strong, very strong, because they put this buff on themselves that doesn't go away. Unlike Rally, Rally can go away over time before they even do their Rally ability. Rally can be blocked. Rally can be removed. This cannot, and it stays on them till they do their battle skill. All the Ice Blast heroes, level 100, fully scrolled. This epic is by far the best when you talk about epics and rares because he gets 20% additional crit rate on both of his abilities. He's going to be doing his battle skill nonstop, so we only need to get somewhere around 80% crit rate. And then we can use critical damage gloves, which ups his damage, just like we do with Total Nan. And then here, whenever he gets a crit, he's got a 30% chance to give an ice crystal to an ally. That allows them to do their battle skill over and over for every ice crystal stack they have. So he's giving that to his allies. He gives himself 2 ice crystal stacks, so he can do his battle skill 3 times in a row. That's just to himself. And then he gives somebody else an ice crystal. So for him to be able to give so many ice crystals so they can do their battle skills, for himself to be able to do multiple with the ice crystals is great. And then he gets that critical damage, plus he gets his attack increase on his ultimate for 10 seconds. The guy just does insane damage, and he helps out all the other ice crystal players that you're going to use on your team. Nord, the same kind of thing. Nord is a rare. He's melee. He can't keep himself alive. That's the only issue, right? Melee is not great to play. It's just not great because we can't really take control of melee and have other people be hit by a diamond-shaped ability because he's always up there. He's going to get hit with the tank. He has a 30% chance whenever he deals damage to give other Ice Blast allies ice crystal. So that's very strong to make sure they can keep doing their moves. And then here he gives himself 1 ice crystal. So by himself, all he could ever do is get 2 battle skills in between an ultimate because he's giving himself just 1 ice crystal. Unfortunately, this, when he procs this, will not go to himself. It'll only go to an ally. Still really good damage because he's doing his battle skill 2 times every ultimate rotation, which is nice. If you had to play him alone, I don't know why you'd play him alone, but if you wanted to, you're about to see the damage numbers that they're all pulling off. And they're all kind of around Total Nan, in between Usha and Total Nan, which when you look at the tier list for damage that we've been making for season 1, you can see that that's a lot of damage. Like every single one of them are a lot of damage. This legendary, which is going to be in a banner soon, is by far the funnest one that I've played because she gives everybody almost max ice crystals, and she does damage like Total Nan does single target damage, which if you know anything about Total Nan, that's the fire lizard, the single target wild procer. She does crazy damage. So this lady is doing really good damage and then giving everybody else and herself additional attack along with pretty much max ice crystals. She's just giving them so many ice crystals when she does this move, and she's doing great damage herself. So she's like one of the best, and a banner's coming up with her. This guy kind of functions like Shaltar. He's going to give the ability of everybody on the team when he does his ultimate, this ability to do derivative damage, which counts toward him. Just like Shaltar, right? Whenever anybody, a Dauntless hero, hits that proc for Shaltar, we'll get that additional derivative damage. Or when any other hero hits with Shaltar, they just have a lower percentage chance to trigger it. With this guy, though, it's a little bit weirder because when he does his ultimate, the allies, only Frost Blast, Ice Blast allies, they get his passive, and then he only gets this derivative damage when you use your battle skill. It's not a hit. It's not like we're using Dauntless to where when Shaltar fires off, we have his ultimate go off and then everybody else's ultimate, so they hit multiple times on their ultimate. We can't really line it up with this guy. With this guy, he does this, and then everybody else, whenever they do their battle skills, which they're doing over and over for the next 10 seconds, is when he gets the damage. It's not based off of a normal hit. We can't do ultimate after ultimate after ultimate to trigger it. I just felt like this guy was good, but he wasn't crazy. And he doesn't give a whole bunch of teammates the ice crystals for them to be able to do their battle skill over and over like she does. She gives the ability to do battle skills for herself and everybody over and over and over again, along with being able to do crazy damage. This one, I'm just not sure about. We got to do more testing on the Vortex boss to see. This is an exclusive legendary. This is the one that has her own exclusive artifact. And she does single target damage. Single target damage is crazy. Without her exclusive artifact, it's crazy. With her exclusive artifact, it goes up from like 100% additional battle skill damage to 200%. And then on this battle skill ability, it raises its damage like 35%. It's really nutty. She does insane damage. The two other epics are okay. They're really not the best. I wouldn't play this guy right here. Single target damage. He does a small little AoE actually, and he doesn't give anybody else the ice crystals. He just does it for himself. Only one when he does his ultimate, and I really wasn't happy with the kind of damage he does. This dwarf here, Girthy, she can hit really hard. She has the hardest hitting battle skill with 290% times 2, and she gets a critical rate bonus, a critical damage bonus. So she does well. She does really good damage, but she also doesn't give anybody else ice crystals. She gives herself one ice crystal every ultimate, and that's basically it. She does do a lot of damage, more damage than this guy, but she is melee. So that means she has to be up in the fight. And a lot of times that's going to cost you to either gear them really defensive heavy or they're going to die halfway through the fight. These numbers mean nothing unless we have something to compare it to, and you can see where we did Usha. Usha with the same gear that all these heroes used. You can see the damage she did. Total Nan with the same gear that all these heroes used. Look at the damage that Total Nan did. We've got Usha at 600,000, Total Nan at 800,000. You can see all these guys are falling in line with somewhere around kind of Total Nan damage. And Total Nan, if you look at Season 1, where we did a whole bunch of damage testing, single target damage testing right here, Season 1, you can see Total Nan is crazy high for single target damage. Now this is with a different set of gear. All these guys were with a different set of gear. Then you see Usha down here, which is still extremely high. Usha is doing really good single target damage because when you look at all these other heroes from Season 1, look at this. Down, 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 down. These are Season 1 heroes. Some of these heroes are strictly single target damage dealers, and they're way down on this list. Like, not great single target damage dealers. They might do some nice debuffs. They might do something else, but they're just not good at doing damage compared to a lot of these other heroes. But then we come up to the top and we see Usha here, and then we see Total Nan extremely high. So if we're doing that same kind of damage with Total Nan with the same gear that we see right here, then these guys are pulling in some insane numbers. Single target damage numbers. The rankings in the middle, I put Bled in at S tier because he's just too strong. He gives everybody ice crystals so they can do their battle skill. He gives himself a whole bunch, plus he's got 20% crit rate, 20% attack. He's just the strongest out of the epics and the rare. Nord is actually really strong himself too, but he's melee, so he dies really easily and we can't go, just all out DPS, but he does give everybody else ice crystals. So if you needed somebody to play, Bledin and Nord are really good together, because he's always trying to give ice crystals on that basic ability. Or no, whenever he does damage. Anytime he does damage, 30% scrolled out to give somebody an ice crystal. And he does have a small 3x3 ultimate. Psyduck, I don't like this guy. He's got a small 3x3 also. He just doesn't give anybody else ice crystals, and he doesn't do as much damage as Girthin. Not too far off from Girthin. Honestly, if you needed somebody that you wanted to play like this, you could play it and play Psyduck and get that little 3x3 because the damage isn't that much. I just like Girthin because she's a little bit stronger, and we're really probably going to use these guys on the Vortex boss or on a boss to where we don't have to worry about, doing a massive amount of debuffs or taking care of any kind of weird things that are going on, because these guys don't do anything else. There's no decrease attack, heal block. We don't have buff removal. There's nothing else that they do. Kind of like Rally. Same thing with, those poisoners or summoners that just bring in their pets. They don't do anything else. They're just there to do damage. And sometimes that's not good. Sometimes we need a lot more than just damage. This legendary, this is the snake one. She is by far S tier. I put her at S plus because really this exclusive, the dwarf that we saw, she really is SS tier. Her damage is crazy, but the snake here can make everybody's damage good because she gives them that attack increase, and she also gives everybody a crazy amount of ice crystals so they can do their battle skill over and over. She's really good, and she does great damage too, so I would like to get her along with Bledin, and I'd be kind of set. I just throw one other person in there if I'm going to do like a 3 DPS on the Vortex boss with 2 support, then that's all I'd need to do. We got to do more testing with Zorak. I don't know how well this guy's going to be. We're going to have to load him with a whole bunch of enlightenment, kind of play him just like we play Shoutar, and see how it turns out. I can't imagine that they would make a brand new legendary like Shoutar that isn't as strong as Shoutar. So I'm assuming he's going to be strong. I just haven't seen that yet. And this dwarf is, like I said, crazy damage. If you were able to get her exclusive artifact, it would just take... she already does crazy damage. It would just go and skyrocket if you got her exclusive artifact. So I put her at SS rank. Those are the Ice Blast heroes. They're really fun. It's great that we don't have to put a debuff up. We don't have to worry about that accuracy. We just get this buff on ourselves that can't be removed, that can't be stopped, and it stays on us, and we get to use it whenever we do our battle skills. So there's really nothing negative to say about these guys. They do great single target damage. We just don't have any debuffs. There's no removal. There's no block heal. All they do is damage, which for some things, that's good. Not all things, not always for dungeons. In-game dungeon speedruns, sure, but leveling up and trying to tackle all those dungeons, we're going to need heroes that do decrease attack, heal block, remove buffs, block buffs, all the fun stuff that we're used to doing when we go up through the dungeons. But later on, when we're just trying to do damage, or if we're just trying to make a Vortex team, then yeah, we'll bring these guys in, and they are fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on these guys down below. I will see you all in a video soon.